That's my hot take.
Game ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ కాబోతుంది. Valorant esports. Let's watch. G2 versus TH.
A rebel fridge, but the against G2. Over and over again against G2, say goodbye to the series.
Let's watch. ఎవరు గెలుస్తారో చూద్దాం. ఎవరు గెలుస్తారో చూద్దాం.
Towards him, not
laughing. We weren't on the side of heretics because
yeah, he's but also they've got rid of the Viper on the other side by the looks of it. Jorgamo's also hovering for each. But
a little bit later here, but it's Heretics on the attack side to start things off, and it's already inching over to A. And who else but Miniboo to open up the account for the EMEA squad?
A team and a player who can be so momentum-based. That is the right way to start off for him.
Prowlers here getting into that A side of the map, and G2 are going to give some space, considering playing off this paranoia to some degree. It's found a little bit late to it now. Grabwell also complicating things for G2 as they try and wrest control back, but they're down to Jonah and Leaf.
Just the two of them both coming from spawn at the moment. Little upgrade for Benji Fishy as well. Really shouldn't be any hope for them to get back into this. All of the Heretics players just faced up together.
Yeah, it is like a triple face. They are ready for anything, and Jonah now is aware. 4 straight on back. Has a wall to work with, but very tricky situation to navigate now. This 1 versus 4. It's cute. I'll give him that. Right click over the top, but it's Heretics getting on the board first.
I gotta say, it's interesting as well to see the Astra. We've seen absolutely none of that in America, so G2 certainly not prepared in that regard. The agent definitely more popular over in Europe, contrasting to what they go up against. This is a fascinating first map, though. The desk were highlighting exactly why. This is one where G2 have played 3 different comps in Americas and have lost with all of them. This is their 4th new look on the map since it's been released midway this year.
It's double Senti, which is bizarre. The Rays make it away back into the composition as well. That's a nice seize. Brienne's decayed down, but otherwise not affected by the paint shells that followed up that fade util. Jonah needs to top up himself. Decayed down as he's seized in the corner, but it's a wall in response. That'll get broken open.
And since the recent buffs, G2 have loved leaning into this stage, playing it on Sunset, which isn't in this pool, but then also taking it to Corrode.
Jonah P is waiting. A little bit of skin, a little shoulder ahead, anything. Jog steps up and then gets on out here. G2 so far have staved Heretics off of this B side of the map and have scaled into some degree of mid-control with a big push by Leaf off of the A side.
Yeah, Heretics, who, by the way, have gone for that 5 stinger buy, but perhaps early ideas of going with some pace were just slowed down by G2 having both the Fade and the Sage on this B side.
Valuable confirmation there. That Haunt indicates that Heretics are still milling about B main. And Jonah went to find out the hard way. Tension in the air now, as you know, in a couple of moments. Heretics are looking to test this. They got that better weaponry. It's Stingers for all of them. Very NA-coded buy-up. And Minibu's going to get straight onto the site. Trent at least goes 1 for 1. Around the corner, it's Valen. Couple headshots now. That's going to put the fear of God in these guys. And there's Trent. Oh, yes. G2 with an absurdly high floor, even on their worst days, get it done with the classics.
Yeah, you best not challenge G2 of all teams with the 5 stingers. They know exactly how to deal with that. And I suppose this round it's just simply not missing in the site. What is happening?
Yeah,
they line up for Trent. Oh my God.
These guys have changed,
bro,
man.
You see the Baby Bay
changed.
effect right away. That is the difference. Normally, you would see Josh RT just kind of silently, he claps to himself. The team would congratulate each other. Nah, they're out of their seats. Josh is getting hyped in the coaching booth. They have a totally different mentality since he's joined this team.
Lee's first game back, he clutches, gets up in his seat, screams across the stage, I haven't played for 2 weeks, you guys effing suck. And sits down. These guys are different.
Well, Benji, he's had enough. He's got the Guardian into this round. Instant first tap.
Mid-control already, though. Look at Jorg taking that space. Looks like the Hawk pinged him out, though, and now he's going to have to reconsider. That B side has opened up, though. Benji Fishy on that attack side. Always good to crack open a loose side.
Now just trying to use those nebulas to cross, but it's a very well-timed siege that comes through from Trent to deny the ability of Heretics to scale into that site.
Plenty of time to work with for Heretics and decided to cancel on that B. Slowed down a little too long by that seize, maybe. Now they need to re-clear mid. Trent steps up, sees the Marshall shot, whistle past his left ear. Hasn't Odin in hand, but needs smoke coverage.
It does get hit by that Marshall, so down to just 50 HP. Valen on the open face.
They don't expect the other one.
That's not good enough against this weak buy. That's a gun recovered now, potentially.
A lot of Senti util over on this A side of the map here, but someone has to be there to take advantage. It's Trent, who's already knocked down to 49. Heretics now moving in numbers. Dangerous, though, with Trent through the wall. Cuts rounds down. Woot and Miniboo are bleeding out as they get onto the site. Time is short, and Trent is going to make sure they pay for it. It's just Boo with a Sheriff. At least he's been able to go up to a Guardian. Of course, that spike is down. Trent still needs to do something about this. Boo's gotten in there. Leaf and Jordan now looking to play together. Off the satchel, off the bomb buddy, and a little bit of a hop, skip, and jump. Sticks the landing. That's a G2 defuse.
And we've barely gotten to see any of Chocobo playing Raze this year, but we know how ridiculous he is on the agent. His movement is as silly as it gets. I mean, if you just think back to how much he was on that agent when he won Champions with EG in 2023. Fair effort to Heretics, though. That was honestly pretty savage of Boo to have the Guardian, but go to the Sheriff and swing out wide instead for the one tap.
But that's the utility from Leaf that was left over on that A site, rather, after he drifted across.
Yeah, gets a cam tag and the trip, so they're lit up with the Odin. Yeah, that's why G2 were just happy to play other sides of the map. They have all this info on A with the setup that Leaf's playing.
Double Odin for G2. Maybe that's part of the reason why they brought Cypher back in here. Playing off those kill trips now, which that much more deadly on a map with thin walls like this.
It's like they defeated NRG and were able to steal their best card.
It's like perfect sell, you know what I mean?
Now they're using it on Corrode of all maps. Just so much obnoxious wall spam, which the Cypher really does benefit off of with the cam. That is one nice little perk of having the agent. What? What? Huh?
What do I make of that one? I mean, is it a
Science
virtual
cannot
one-way?
explain what is happening with this wall.
Technically,
What is happening? I don't know what I'm looking at.
Jonah really, you know, with the modern architecture slant on Corrode here. It's like, what is this, bro? A little mystifying.
I mean, in the meantime, here comes Miniboo dimensional drift while the rest of the team are just perplexed as to what's happening in B main. He's gotten all the way into the site,
Is it a
however.
sign from an advanced alien race that are trying to communicate with us? No. No, it's just G2's utility usage. Here's the Nightfall, though, cutting onto the site. Two players caught by the paranoia, tucked in the corner. Valorant strides out. Miniboo is down. Here comes Trent, looking to mow them down, but the sheer wall will prevent that penetration. Leaf here, knocked down to just the shorty. Very favorable scenario here for Heretics.
Valorant spotted out as well, so they get the info on an additional player. Rion's 1 kill away from the Nightfall just in case. But surely the man advantage and some good trading will be enough for Team Heretics here.
They've been able to get out of the danger zones, those very spammable spots after having stuck the plant. Rian steps up. Nicely done. Woot will chime in here, and Trent is going to be well and truly on the back foot. Meticulous from Team Heretics, but they bust open the weak side.
That dimensional drift got a lot of value. G2 attempting to go for the flood as soon as Heretics got into the site. That was the Nightfall coming out from Trent. There was a paranoia from Elbow as well. Yeah, I think he was trying to boost himself up, but all good. Ultimately, though, Team Heretics just play that so well, being able to dodge out the flood and then get some good post-plant setups.
I think that boost, the boost up gives Jonah a look over the wall in B main. Most likely. Off we go round number 5 here.
Oh my god.
And that's mid-lockdown.
Little unnecessary to get the headshot through the wall, but we'll take it for the style
Sending
points.
a message, I feel.
Plus 10 aura. Jaw just waiting in the smoke with Valen over on A. Team Heretics can really take their time here, however. Miniboo maybe with an opportunity on another. I think Jonah might have just gotten the spot. Maybe he popped up on the minimap. Hard to say, but aware either way.
Bought some time and we'll be able to fall back towards that elbow position. But Heretics, naturally, extremely well armed in this round. And there's Miniboo. Yeah, all comes up a little bit too slow for Jonah's liking. And that'll leave it all on Leaf for that B site. As a can to work with, so it could be a little bit more passive. But now, G2 getting exploratory. Boo already has the bayonet fixed in place, and Valen is on receiving end.
Valen does duck away, hoping to act as maybe some level of bait for Jaw in the corner, but with just the classic, does some damage, can't net the kill.
Well done.
That's all there is to be said. Valen here, very low likely to one, and okay! All right, put a lid on it. Finds himself 2 now and leaves Leaf with the Stinger still en route to A.
Honestly, he's getting it with some decent pace. He might be able to catch them off while they're trying to plant.
The elbow play is going to wrap on him here. Leaf may be unaware that... Oh, backstab!
Oh my god.
Guys! Enough of this close but no cigar nonsense.
My god. 37 health left for Benji.
How did that come down to a 1 versus 1? The economic impact of that round can't be overstated. It's a big investment here for Team Heretics.
I mean, that was their chance to get their cash to, I mean, damn near capped out for a few players. And now they're all bought down to 1.5 or so. Because Valen gets a 2-piece on the weak players. That...
Whoa, let's go!
At least they're, you know, still excited they won the round. I was holding my breath, but... Oh my god, what is that tap?
Off the rip, and it's the Yoru taken out. Heretics' ability to cover the map adequately, severely limited with the loss of that duelist.
Any hopes of using Miniboo to pressure up mid as a effort while they split into B for main? Well, that is nullified.
And that allows for an eventual walk down and insertion by a G2 player to punish or rotate later. Boo, rather, Still sitting bottom mid.
Heretics, they really have no intention of committing to the site just yet. They know that it's of the utmost importance. They remove that Cypher utility first, then go for the execute. See, Rians is just queuing up that Nightfall for a moment. It could certainly turn the tides.
It depends where that really goes. There's actually no anchoring players on the side for G2.
I mean, it may just allow them the timing to get the spike down, but that might be it, however. In G2, they are getting in position right now. Look at Jaw, he's over at elbow. They might be able to flood back in.
Leaf unaffected by that by the looks of things. Haunt is cleared. Jorgamo here up in tower, and the spam is a problem. Second kill through smoke of the round for Valen. Whoop down to 4. He steps up and ends up on the snake bite now. Joel trying to time this, in theory, to disrupt a plant. Quite a game for G2's duelist so far. There's going to be a double stack here over towards an elbow position. Paint shells, a tickle. Boo down to 61.
This is really going to come down to Benji. He is the healthy player. He's tucked in the corner.
Still healthy. Still ready to throw down, and he's waiting for Jaw to give him something around that corner. Still no barrel sighted. Slow orb at the feet of Benji. He maybe is slowed by that, and Valen's been brought back into the game by the Reds. It's 4 players on G2 now for a retake, and Jaw just tanks the shots. Not a care in the world. Slams down on Benji, and that's Valen exiting the round with 3.
G2 play that with some really lovely patience, just allowing for the time to get that res, and then they go back in. It was really well done. Play to that as the out.
Again, playing around the Nightfall. Play off the side at G2.
Just a nasty timing from Valen. Just a little burst spray through.
If you've been able to take Minibu and Riens off the map, you've gotten into the engine room of your opponents.
Man, Valen right now, top fragging in the server with 9. He individually was such a standout for the team throughout the course of Stage 2.
MVP, of course.
It almost felt like he took it upon himself, knowing that with this new iteration of the team, with Baby just coming back, that someone had to step up in terms of getting the kills. He took it upon himself, and he has been in some of the best individual form we have ever seen this past couple months.
Jonah P here, eating a lot of this initiator util. Still able to find a... that is devious, brother. Bizarre angle looking in the yard. So he can remain posted up for the most part with an extremely tight shot. Mid, though, less contested by G2 this round. Just the trap wire left at top mid there. But there are players filtering into that A side after the early saber rattling by Heretics.
Yeah, G2 obviously with this setup, they have no problem just giving up mid. Leaf is peeking for anyone to go from top mid to that B-link by playing towards elbow, and he's got that cam up. Jaw pretty committed in the sight, but has the showstopper when the actual hit comes through, ready to fight at this choke.
Oh, buddy, that's scary. That's a 2-for-1 special for your boy Jaw. Benji at least able to get some value back in that exchange, and Minibu deep on that B side. Looking to occupy the top mid area, but G2 are circumventing it entirely, all the way around, back through B.
Very patient are G2, retaining control of elbow crucially. They have a trip even to maintain that control. Allow the rest of the team to rotate over and then go for that 4-on-3, trade things out.
Paranoia avoided by Benji, aware now that Jonah is up in tower. Benji's had to play this position in the last couple of rounds. Jonah's aware there's a player tucked close. Simply drawing the shots out. Seas won't quite reach him. Omen TP for info. Staved off. It's Valen once again. Sets foot on the side. And the rest of G2 ready to run in numbers. It's on Minibu now. Has to peer in from top mid. Trent's drawing his shots, as is Jonah. And then they back away for someone to step up. It's rank after rank of G2 guns aimed at the Yoru.
What a beautiful retake. This is just Valorant at its best from G2. Everything they do there is so patient and tactical. From that slow orb from Jonah into Link, there's that jump spot from Jonah.
Very tactical.
He gets the position of Benji in the corner. They're still waiting. Then from the shadows from Valen, gets tucked into the corner, close choke, gets the info on Boo. Then they push out together. They use every second that they've got in that retake. They maximize all of them to get the info on the players and go in.
They're fully
aware.
aware.
So well done.
That Benji is tucked in that corner. So Jonah and Trent just draw his fire.
Well, that's the beauty of this G2 this year, right? Is that they have Jaw, the X factor, but overall the team is so intelligent. They play such a sound tactical game, but they have him as the wild card.
It's a Sage wall over here at A main that forces Heretics to reveal themselves to a degree. A very passive posting there. You look towards A elbow, that's where Jonah is set up. No longer with the op in hand, it's actually Jaw. He's playing that B main position, so tons of info being gained on that side of the map. That allows for this drift over now of Trent.
Very patient. Our Heretics right now in A main, just waiting to let that Prowler go, and the util from the Viper can be put up so they can try to go for this cross. It's a lot of Sheriffs.
Steel Gunner for Benji might be pretty crucial to even the ledger a little bit here, Wyatt. Here's the approach. Trent at risk of being caught with util in hand, but there's the C's thrown out, and it all seems too easy. Valen to the opposite corner, but the dark cover keeps Heretics out of the sight.
Now just up mid is Boo. Rian's trying to reposition. 30 seconds. All of G2 on this site. Team Heretics went into a pretty fair stack of players.
Oh, man.
And it's just all too easy for G2.
That's a brutal round. Heretics have to show themselves. A main have to deal with that wall, still spend some initiator util to try and divine what G2's intentions are, but they're playing so far back on the site. Then they explode forward like that.
Really not much they can do in that situation.
The
The defensive util is just so overwhelming, and they don't have the right weapons. It's
Let's go.
all good. The
Nice
real
hold,
focus from
baby.
them is
Let's
obviously
go,
going to
boys.
be on this next round. It's a timeout called from Heretics as well. And they have very crucial ultimates to play with. They've gotten up to that wall from Boo. Woot has a pit. That's an easy one, too. Try to wall for some kind of safe plant, and then you throw down the pit for the post plant. You can throw a steel garden in the mix, even. They have more than enough tools to convert a buy round.
It's been quite a year for this Heretics team, man. Obviously, you know, off a disappointing Toronto, they're basically straight off to EWC. They win that tournament. 5 days in between their final game and the start of stage 2. They get back in EMEA, they slog it out, have another perfect group stage, and then they falter. In those EMEA playoffs, go completely invisible.
No maps won in the playoffs. It's just been the most extreme of ups and downs for Heretics this year. A year where this team has had really high expectations after back-to-back second-place finishes at Globals in 2024. And it was that year where they had no expectations going into it. They surpassed what people thought they could do by miles. But now this year, perhaps under the pressure of those large expectations that they created for themselves, they just haven't been able to repeat that same success at a VCT just yet. But maybe this is their time. I mean, we know what every player on this roster is capable of. The talent they have is just outrageous. Pound for pound, they can take on any team in the world.
The conditions have to be right for them, Wyatt.
And here's that divide coming through onto the B site. Team Heretics trying to just scale in safe and get that plant from Boo. They have no control of the map with this setup right now. Leaf is trying to tease the wall. Benji is ready with the shorty, and there's the pit.
Leaf got hit by the Prowler, so had to play close to circumvent the near site. Now able to back up a little bit. Viper's pit, there's a heck of a lot of work here for Team Heretics. A big investment in this round.
And Minibu scales in, and he does get his, teleports away.
The wrap coming through a little bit late. Shield Wall is also going to cut Jorgamo off the rest, and it's going to be on Trent alone to try and fight them here out towards B main. That's starting to fall apart a little bit now. Haphazard round as Jonah's trying to get on the spike. Decay down to 1 though.
Oh, pulled away even by the Gravwell.
Now, too much architecture here. Heretics have really set the playing field in their favor, and Minibu will collect straight up mid for his third. Leaf at least can stave him off, but you can't argue with that setup from Heretics. Centimeter perfects.
Yeah, straight out of the timeout, they just come in with a big ult to execute the safest of safe plants. That wall only gives enough space for Boo to get in the corner there with the spike.
Jeez, not too shabby for Minibu, nearsighted and everything.
Yeah, and the Minibu is able to just fight within the pit. He gets one, teleports away. They have the sheer wall for the flank, which G2 rightly tried to exploit in that situation, having a couple people push through. But the fact that Jaw gets divided, Trent's picked off alone, exactly as they drew it up in that timeout, Heretics are able to execute pretty flawlessly.
Prowler here, cleared early by Jonah, who'll fall back to pocket.
Now Rian's got an Odin of his own on this attack side as Heretics make a lot of noise early on A main. Take that extremity control. The other one currently under the watchful eye of Jaw, who has picked up that operator.
He's the kill trips on the B side there. Trent is going to be pretty important to that plan because it'll require him to spam from top mid.
Yeah, those are some ratty tricks.
Pretty
to
devious,
the
yeah.
B side for the Odin spam, but yeah, the action is definitely going to be here on A.
Yeah, G2 just trying to realize, figure out how much breathing room they have here at Yard, and Jonah can step up now and throw the wall. This is confirmation in its own way. Also a slow orb that could follow this up. Sees instead tons of this stall utility at the fingertips of G2.
And just the spam coming through the choke doesn't do a lot of damage yet, but it does just keep Heretics temporarily at bay. They need to break that for sure. They're going to get spammed.
Haunt is taken out. Seas comes in. Valor now will have to be subject. Ooh, nicely done. TP's out of that steel garden. The G2 give up the side, come back in with their primary weapons available, though it's going to be an old-fashioned throwdown. There's Leak fighting him too, and Boo can't stand under that level of scrutiny. Rians has to get here and get involved, but he'll be trolled around the box. Spike is loose, not at his disposal whatsoever.
Leaf was on skates. He was just going back and forth, sidestepping him. That was crazy.
Just some sick movement. We're going to see that again. No
How
doubt.
did he win all those duels? G2 just go right back in and fight after that steel garden is used. Jonah was isolated towards elbow. He was caught by it. They come into support. He couldn't get wrapped on. That was some really sick gunplay from Leaf.
So Heretics, they make that big investment in that round number 9, win it out with sheer weight of ultimates, but then a belated hit towards the A side is stuffed.
Now here they would love to get an orb from Miniboo to have access to a dimensional drift. They did win a round off the back of it prior, but he is completely isolated forward. He's in so much danger, but he's holding his ground, and Jaw shot very low, but stays alive.
Yeah, Jaw trying to juggle a little bit there. Takes a lot of damage in order to deploy that blast pack. Certainly, Heretics a little bit rattled after that early encounter, and now G2 looking to be the first ones to really get that deep mid control.
And with the wall from Heretics in mid, Wood isn't really able to activate too much towards that A side, even with all the noise. And Jaw just able to dodge out some of that spam. And, the benefits of playing the Sage, up to 100.
Jonah has an off here. So knows that his connector is covered. He can play that much more aggressively here out into Yard.
And again, it's at about that 55-second mark that wall is going down on main. Exchange of mid. Valen is just too good right now.
Extremely slick movement there from Valen. Gets him out of what could have been a dangerous situation, and Heretics just have to be patient now. Jonah on one angle. Leaf sitting back on the side for the spam. The op brings out, but gains no purchase. Jonah has to give some ground.
They'll be able to pick up elbow. 25 seconds now on the clock. Heretics overwhelmed by spam.
The shot here for sure. Wood brought down. Cybercage now. Do I get Loud Jonah to fall back yet again? Is after Util's getting thrown up. This is very ad hoc. This is very impromptu, and time is starting to tick down. Leaf now sings out with the Odin's call. Henry ends once more. This is an impossible situation, riddled with bullets. And that's G2, adding their 7th.
This composition has just allowed them so much great passive map control, even with the existence of the Cypher, and then having the cam during those executes to ping players is quite helpful. And then on this round, G2, they just throw this aggressive walk down mid in the mix. Valen is just so sharp with his aim right now to collect those 2 kills.
Silence your mind.
And then by the time Heretics can actually get into that execute on A, they're dealing with the Jonah op, the Odin, Cypher util. What can they do?
This stage gets really annoying when G2 go on the attack side, by the way, to fight for that contested territory with the slow orb, the wall for the safe plants. But for now, it's a dimensional drift up mid for Miniboo. Pretty enlightening, as he has found the captain of the ship.
This is something Heretics had done before, and they split through B with the majority through main. This time, everybody is going through this link. Poison Cloud going to be thrown up so they can't get shot down on entry. Miniboo ready to teleport in, perhaps off this Prowler.
Trent is here, though, to spam down if they get a ping. Valen seized inside cubby. TP for safety here, Leaf! Oh no! Now Heretics boxed in. It's one way or another, rock and hard place. Leaf eventually is brought down. Miniboo plows through him, but Heretics have suffered such great casualties, and they still don't have that spike to hand. It's still dropped top mid. Miniboo's got to double back for it, and he's going to have to face a wall of bullets again. The Odin spam is egregious. I'm just going to put it out there. It's filthy. And there's Jaw, of course, looking for a flashy finish to the round. And of course, we let go of those ultimates now in this round number 12. Extra player brought back. And Benji is put down.
Well, that was a beautifully orchestrated defense from G2 with this new comp that they brought into the mix here. The Cypher was getting so much value throughout that entire half. And the timings on Jonah's play with the walls, slows towards A, really influential as well. Excellent way for them to start this series. Heretics were able to put together a couple nice executes with the ultimates when they had access to them. But outside of that, it really was a brick wall.
Yeah, it's such an interesting comp for G2 to bring out here. Seeing the Rays make a return on Corrode of all maps. Stunning stuff. While we wait for the second half, here is Lou at stage with a special guest that has some history with these teams.
J'accueille un monument du Valorant français à mes côtés. Kellogg's, it's a pleasure to welcome you here at Champs Paris. My first question is going to be very simple. You're currently a mandatory player, but you used to play for Team Heretics 2 years ago, and you were playing alongside Boo. So my first question is, did you already feel that he had, that great IGL spirit? Tu as joué avec vous il y a déjà 2 ans, aujourd'hui tu joues chez Mandatory. Est-ce que tu avais déjà senti un petit peu son esprit d'IGL et est-ce que tu es content de voir son évolution?
Déjà bonjour tout le monde. Boo, il a toujours été très fort. Moi je me rappelle à mes débuts chez Heretics, il était très fort. Je me rappelle en practice, il se mettait un peu de pression et de souvenirs quand on avait joué sur scène, c'était sa première fois, il avait beaucoup de pression. Donc pour moi c'est juste normal que maintenant il est à ce niveau-là. Il a prouvé, il va reprouver encore, et moi je pense que Heretics cette année peuvent aller très loin et même potentiellement gagner le Champions. Je sais que Boo, c'est vraiment un très bon IGL.
So yeah, I think Boo is definitely a great IGL. Back then, 2 years ago, maybe he was putting a little bit of pressure on himself, but now it's not the case anymore, and I think that Team Heretics looks very confident and could even lift the trophy. My second question is going to be about your role. You're playing duelist for years now, but you're setting high standards on yourself, on your performance. So how do you remain calm in such high-stake matches? Donc, tu joues dueliste depuis tellement longtemps, je peux même plus citer le nombre de games que tu as joué en dueliste. Est-ce que tu as des petits conseils peut-être pour Miniboo pour essayer de rester forcément calme dans ce genre de situation?
Des conseils, je pense pas, parce qu'il est très fort et qu'il a beaucoup d'expérience. Mais ce que je peux dire, c'est que quand on est dans une mauvaise game, que les entrées passent pas, c'est toujours garder la tête haute et de se dire que ça va passer au bout d'un moment. Et maintenant, ça fait plusieurs années que Miniboo, notamment lui, est dueliste. Et à n'importe quel moment, il peut faire la différence dans la game.
Definitely, I think those are white words. He can do the difference anytime. He should just keep his head cold, and I'm sure that he's going to make it. For sure, he has been playing duelist for so long now. Merci, Kellogg's. Good luck for Ascension. And before that, we're going to see who takes the win on Corrode between G2 and Team Heretics.
Now, have you been trying to sort of predict the map pool of this game between G2 and Heretics based on history, team performance? You'd probably be surprised to see Corrode make its way in here, but G2 have such a good game plan on that defense side, allows 8 rounds to be picked up. Here's your Coinbase econ report, of course. Trent, who picked up the Odin pretty early, was able to really cause headaches for Heretics as they were getting pinged out, not just only by his util, but also by the Cypher util, the cam, the trips, basically allowing G2 to win these fights before they even saw physically the Heretics players pull up on.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, this looks like the coolest comp that G2 have been able to cook up for this map. It's the 4th one that they've tried since the release of the map.
They've had very little success here in fairness.
Yeah, they're 1 and 3 on it overall, right? So we'll see if this can be their 2nd win on the map for Heretics. They just barely played it. Only 1 time. But honestly, I do respect the boldness of going for it, because this is the flaw that has been in G2's map pool. They've been great everywhere else, so I really do think this was a good pick. I like that they went for it, but now they have to make the most of it on this defense.
Well, Miniboo gets off to a good start yet again.
Same as the attack pistol, immediate Deagle headshot.
Boo here trying to chime in. It looks like G2 unperturbed as yet.
Evidently, the Frenzy can work at range as well. Fallon goes down. Heretics with a great opportunity to just surge right back into this game if they can convert the man advantage that they've earned off some pretty sick individual skill. Team has no shortage of that.
Slight course correction for G2, but they still have eyes for this A site. So they're going to be pivoted in a 3v3 in the immediacy of this hit. Prowler sees a fair bit of action there. Oh, okay, right click, central it is. Boo steps out, though, secures the trade. Now Trent and League for the threats on the side. It's Rian's trying to give a bit of space. Some jiggles from Boo. A crossfire set up here for Heretics now as Trent is trying to draw them out of formation. But they were not born yesterday. Got to get up early if you want to get to the better of Rian. The guy is like a lab-made player. So well-rounded. Kind of has everything you could ask for in an individual at this level.
A perfect crossfire set up. Both Boo and Rians absolutely managed that utility that was thrown at them to the best. When Rians gets as deserved. So much respect from the community, analysts, other pro players. He has got it all as a player. He really does. He is the complete package.
And a delightful 3K to start Heretics on the right foot here. Supposed to be Fibonacci sequence. How do you play hopscotch like that? And the dizzy work. Anyway, a very early outlaw picked up here for Miniboo. Valorant trying to play off this haunt, and Miniboo is unperturbed. He simply gate crashes away.
We are going to recover that orb, but with only classics, this should just be a slow defeat on the second round here for G2. And I do frankly still need to be convinced of them being able to put together a solid attack on this map. We still should have big question marks about their ability to close out a full game of Corrode right now. This has been, as I said, the one stain on what has been an almost flawless run through Americas.
Miniboo so far is now to find himself in the perfect spots to take contact. So now G2, suffice to say, running out of ideas. The sheer wall. Bit of an issue for Jaw. He will eventually have the curtain come down on him.
It's interesting too to see that Heretics, they have opted to go for a much more meta look on this map, running the double controller. Last we saw them with the double duelist that they've really heavily leaned into, and with very good reason. They have Boot and Miniboo on their team. Those are some shooters. But they've come into this tournament switching it up. They have gone with that very meta double controller.
Seen it from teams, I think, just the volatility of how mid works in this map and how spammable it is. Maybe opt for something that's a little slower, a little better at carving up the map, setting the playing field to favor defenders.
As this standard wall from defense is thrown down, you can get that up on B main. Nice for retakes. Of course, you can use it to walk down mid, pressure, as Miniboo is doing right now. Oh, lovely shot. Just about other first blood. Is that 3 in a row? Miniboo is heating up.
They're looking for someone to take over the game. It's going to be Miniboo. G2 now have to put this together without their Cypher. Playing to the extremities now, but there's just a huge amount of utility in their face on that A side. Bingo, there's the extra player. Boo over here alongside Miniboo, who again is right where he needs to be.
G2 are temporarily stalled out. They want to work towards A. They obviously have to contest all of that Vice utility. Wall in main. G2 making their way back. They need to use this dark cover to actually cross mid and a Prowler to re-clear close as well.
They have to threaten some sort of A split, so at least the sheer wall's being drawn out now.
Thorns as well needed to happen eventually for G2 to get that out so they can then actually activate for a re-hit. 30 seconds on the clock, so time getting relatively low as G2. They are slow on this foray through mid out of necessity. There's so much to clear.
But Heretics still 2 plays over at B. They don't want to risk getting caught on a rotate through
3
mid.
now with the teleport.
Yeah, here comes Miniboo back on the site once more in the eye of the storm. There's a paranoia. No, hoping for more off that one. Jaw at least gets his one, but Benji mows him down. Jonah into the smoke, knows Benji's lurking on the other side of it, but can't bring his gun to bear in time. And that's got the boy up on his feet. Some energy now from the Heretics camp.
What a beautiful hold, especially from Benji. Lethal shots coming from him. That initial kill from Miniboo just puts G2 in a very awkward position. They're slowly trying to rework that map late to get in towards this A site, but it's too little too late. Miniboo's able to teleport over. Team Heretics are more than ready, and the shots from Benji are just fantastic.
G2 unsuccessful in consecutive rounds at working mid. Miniboo has been a real thorn in their side.
See if he can go 4 for 4 on first kills in this second half. He is the player on Heretics that you want to be heating up early, to be feeling that momentum. He is a player that just takes so many liberties.
Oh, wanted more, but it's Benji, always good.
Just racks up 2 kills. He's one away from getting the Steel Garden even.
He is 18 frags in 16 rounds. He sees no reason to give any more ground than this. And there's the Arcros lighting a couple up. Benji falling back now. Valor not really at effective range. Needs to close the gap, and Benji knows it even better. Steps back. Nebula in the way.
Just no reason to fight. Don't give him an inch.
Valor's trying to cut up the site here, but Heretics still want to play together, so they do so in the smoke.
both G2 players very weak at the moment, just going for the safest of safe plants.
Kill trip, play off the side.
I mean, about the best thing they can do really is just try to get the plant and a little bit of cash for the next round. Surely they can't close this out.
This is inventive. Valorant gets himself across the way. Leaf also an elbow, but there is a molly thrown down inside that smoke. Valorant low. Trip on the side. Valorant hoping to spray through and do something with this. Leaf. Wishful thinking, I feel. As it was just the tap for Heretics, and now Boo will come and clean up from Connector. The Sting of Dreams finally dead for Valorant. Team Heretics well and truly back in this game.
They did not allow G2 any in that situation. Played everything as optimally as possible. I mean, not the most minuscule risk taken. Miniboo, another first blood, and Benji is right there to just clean up those G2 players when they try to go for the trade. Beautifully done.
And G2 have to be really careful of contacting these extremities, but they're playing a double senti comp. They have to do that to some degree. They can't just spam control you till break the map up. They need to walk into those sidelines.
And now Benji, he did get that diffuse, so has the Steel Garden. Dimensional Drift as well in the arsenal for Team Heretics right now. G2 fully invested, of course, into this round with a lot of emphasis on controlling B main. Prowlers exchanged from both fades.
Arcrose sends Trent scurrying, sees, he caught Jorgamo there, he had no way of getting out. Decay down, so he's an easy pickup for Miniboo, who's just opening every single round with a kill.
What a crazy trap play from Heretics. That was so sick. And Miniboo able to just get away. Jonah would love to find a res somehow to bring Jaw back to life. They don't have the entry now for this side exec. Need to run into the Odin, run into Benji, who has that Steel Garden ready.
They've got to trigger the shield wall all at once as well. Or just leave a play on the other side of it, I guess.
Yeah, good luck, Trent.
There's the Steel Garden. Lorenz is going hunting. Trent stunned up in the corner. Caught by the Nova Pulse of all things. And now Benji can tuck in this corner. There is no option here for G2.
What a genius shutout! Genius reposition from Benji. Incredible. He is playing absolute top level Valorant right now. Oh my god.
And it's these little adjustments, Wyatt. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
This was so cool. The Arc Rose over top combo with the flash. There's the Thorns so they could, you know, try to make it so they couldn't run away. They already crossed back. Didn't even matter. Miniboo is that fast. Gets out. Benji ready with the Steel Garden. Would hate to be Trent in that corner. Sorry, bro. The whole team got stuck behind the wall. You're caught in. No gun. Stuck.
These guys have gone off the overcomp, so they do not have an easy way to get a shield wall out of these chokes early in the round. They have to test it, and if they take too long, they've been split up multiple times on both sides of the map now from just triggering that while they're trying to go in numbers.
G2 are forced into this timeout now. Heretics flawless on the defense up until this point. Oh my god, Benji is just going crazy.
Josh has to get in their ears, and they've got to figure out how this double senti comp is supposed to gain equity on the attack side of this map. How are they going to get map control when they have to face down contact positioning from an Op or an Outlaw?
This Sage util, not doing a whole lot until you actually get the spike down. They've only had the spike down on one round, and it was a 2v4 at that point, and Jonah was already dead. They've gotten no value, essentially, from having this Sage up until this point because Heretics are just denying them at these chokes, fighting them so aggressively.
That's the other edge of this double senti sword. If you can't get post plants, you're weaker in trying to get that site control to start with.
Prowler exchanged. And G2 on this round, they don't have the cash to buy up in any serious way. It's just back to a few stingers.
Can I just say, what a way to bounce back from a epic crash out in MEA playoffs for Heretics. Looking really composed, and honestly, like you mentioned, with some genius individual moments. Don't be fooled by the number 4 seeding.
I feel as well, coming into this match, honestly, with some intention to pick this Jaw in very quick. The rocket code just goes awry. What was that?
Okay.
No one can even support. They're all sucked out of the choke. They committed the showstopper on this of all rounds.
Oh, man.
On this buy?
That is deflating. Yeah, maybe they're hoping to rush in around it, make something happen. There was no shield wall to contend with, but there's always going to be stall util from Heretics.
I mean, yeah, when you're playing against the Vice, doesn't matter which site that Vice is on. There's going to be Thorns on the other one 90% of the time. Those The cross-map lineup, G2, they just want to storm into this A site now. They want to go with a bit more pace, but they are immediately stalled out by the C's.
And there's going to be a dark cover now inside A. They're going to have to fight through that. Razorvine.
I mean, have fun getting through this choke point. There's an Odin. Benji's getting in the corner as well.
Yeah, has to clear the horde though, whip around, and now lays waste. Here's Miniboo catching the push straight out of elbow. There's one singular lead with one singular weapon, and not one singular hope.
I need to see on the replay again what the entire idea was really around that assault from G2 into B. The showstopper comes through. Man, yeah, everyone else pretty stalled out, and Dodge is overwhelmed by some util. That is so awkward. I mean, sure, they throw that ult away. They still have 4 other ones, but let's go! It's not like you can proactively just use a Cypher and a Sage ult. Like, something needs to happen for them to become relevant, you know? It's not like the Showstopper or the Nightfall or something.
Now at least they have that. So they've got 2 consecutive rounds where they have side opening ultimates. But look at this close positioning from Heretics. This is absolutely devious.
And they just don't even want to allow them to get that spike down.
Rien's tucked. Shots through the masonry. Benji and Jaw traded out for one another. Nightfall catches onto G2.
They want to get this space. They want to deny the ability for Jonah to get value from the res in this round.
Trent is already trying to re-clear that, but there's an Astra Star thrown down, which will segment it off further. Heretics serious about keeping G2 off A.
They are telling G2, if you try to get this res, we are going to be right there to stop you. They want to double back. G2 have left. Valen went for a TP towards that A yard area. And now they're working their way in.
Leaf needs to find a way to get some form of mid-control. At least the sheer wall's out of the picture, right? Benji's down, so that connector wall won't come up. There's Rian! It's disgusting! 5 kills, of course, with the res involved, and Boo will finish the job! It's just filthy!
I'm just stunned. They are absolutely 100% committed to we need to get this res. That sightline is completely open.
Couldn't you make it any easier?
I mean, look what happens when you try to swing into this Odin. You're just getting stalled up by bullets. You're getting lined up.
How else are they supposed to take back control of this comp? What, are they hope to maybe use this fake util to clear some space?
Yes. Fuck yes.
Hey, can't catch my boy Weber with the bleep. Bro, too slick with it. Okay, it is crunch time for G2 now. We had raised eyebrows coming into this map anyway. It's been the sole flaw in G2's map pool. But they opt to, what, ban a map coming into this series at their 3 and they ban the Sunset. I know it's been a great map for Heretics traditionally, right? But that opens them up to this Corrode pick and Heretics windmill slam it. I mean, more than happy to come
hoping, I guess, that Heretics, it's just not something they'll lean into, or G2 feeling really confident in the comp they've got this time for the 4th different switch. I don't know, but either way, I think Team Heretics have, at least it's looking like right now, have exploited this hole in G2's map pool to get an early leg up in this series. They've got nothing rolling on attack. Team Heretics, they understand the win condition right now against this composition, and it is to fight. And if there's one thing Heretics do best and love to do, it is to fight. They will fight you at the chokes. They will aggress whenever they feel is necessary.
They will fight you with the water cooler. They'll fight you with the traffic lights. They'll fight you on your front doorstep. All theirs, as it turned out. So what is the plan, probably in round 21 in fairness, to overcome this disgusting hold, this Odin play?
No, this time Heretics, they've gotten their way up into the B main with a couple players, hold it for a bit, and now Miniboo feels it's time to leave. Hasn't been any sound, work the map elsewhere. Leaf attempting to lurk up mid.
That's new. It's probably one of the first times on the attack side G2 have gotten this much penetration through mid and presence in connector. Valen is taking liberties.
G2 who, again, their economy is cracked. They're never getting the spike down. They're never getting extra cash. They just have to keep going in with these miserable half buys. And half, I feel like, is generous.
Valen looking to cut up the site. This is going to favor now that Stinger play. It's going to allow G2 to function with this weaker weaponry. There's Haunt, sees Ward right in front of them, catches on the 2. Jorg is seized in place! It's so dirty! On a dime, they spin a trick! That stuns G2 into silence. And now Leaf, as the mid-control, doesn't want to tangle with Miniboo, and who would? Needs to link up now with Trent. It's two sheriffs, but I'm sorry, this town ain't big enough for these two teams. And G2 looks like they're the ones that are going to get booted out at sunrise. They have to test this nebula before it fades away, or Rians will make mincemeat of them. This isn't a fair fight. This is looking more like an extinction event.
This Team Heretics defense, it has that raw aggressive element that they're known for. It's had a lot of great first kills from Miniboo, but there is also this depth as far as the strategy with having these trap plays. There have been a couple of these now, and G2 have just been utterly destroyed by them.
And they've been searching for answers. That prior timeout at the end of round 19 has to come to fruition now to keep G2 in this map. A stellar defense side, but nothing to write home about on the attack. Completely shut down.
And they have just been slowly using their ults to no avail for what might be their last round. They only have the neural theft left with Leaf. And meanwhile, you take a look at the ult economy for Team Heretics, one away from Seal Garden, one away from Nightfall. Those could be relevant in this match point round.
This ult preference tells me everything I need to know about G2's master plan. They're trying to get Jorg with a showstopper. Give them a way to explosively break onto a site instead of being held in place, locked down, and just sprayed.
That showstopper had no value the last time they used it. He was fully isolated from the rest of the pack.
I suggest user error there as well.
With ease, yeah.
Jorgamo, high highs, and sometimes finds himself in the doldrums, the worst moments. It's a very belated re-clear of this B main area that's set up for a crossfire.
It's as you were saying, they want to get him that orb pawn over the top. Both players shoot it, so G2 well aware that they are going to be faced down by multiple players. It won't just be one they can push off and collect that orb. They'll give it to Jaw with ease. No, and now it's the pivot towards A.
And they're working the map.
They're so divided across the map.
Decayed on down. Oh, Valorant in the corner though. Unexpected. Rienz is still able to find some spray through the smoke and recover things somewhat.
That hits 3, the Nightfall.
Neural theft in play though. That gets popped by Leaf. Some valuable information now for G2 as Trent gets the plant down. Yes, Nightfall's in play, but that slow orb stops Heretics from capitalizing.
Everyone from G2 just routed out of the site. The spike is planted for them on that link side. Rians gets the haunt back. Miniboo has a single flash, a couple util pieces.
Flashing in, Miniboo lit. Leaf steps up for a moment. There's still some Astra Stars to deploy, and Boo is going to get things set up now for this retake from Heretic. In numbers, they step up! And Jonah and Leaf are able to cut them down. It's on Woods, and G2 get a lifeline in this first map. It's anything but pretty, but effective, sure enough.
It is the very first time they are able to crack that Team Heretics defense. And honestly, if you looked at the minimap 5 seconds before they got the spike down, you would not have thought that they were going to do it.
And it's simple. Valen smokes in there, TPs across into the corner, occupies that space, they get a plant, and they fall off. Make use of that fade util.
That was all on Valen being able to make that play, get that entry kill onto Benji Fishy. And the rest of Heretics still needing to take some time to rotate on this map where the rotates are oh so long. Now G2 still trying to work towards the showstopper of
They're going to fight for it. Miniboo is not going to let them have this orb for free. This could get ugly. Jonah and Jord. It's the fake of the smoke. A trade. Jordan again. Showstopper at the ready. Benji goes over his head, but Trent is good for it. Another missed showstopper, but that's a footnote here as G2 at least are advantaged and win that fight in A main.
Rians takes a hell of a lot of damage and just needs to get away. Wood has made his way over towards that A site. Some reinforcements, but it's left Team Heretics entirely divided across the map. So as it stands, going to need to take some individual effort to even things up into a 3-on-3 or put them at an advantage.
Still both controllers in play for the defenders. Can buy plenty of time to make sure they stack the right site. G2 no reason not to try and play with a bit of pace now. A little bit of confidence. That can. Just early warning for Leaf in case someone is tucked up close. Prowler now cleared the way, and through top mid, Heretics are getting set up for this hold.
Yeah, they have maneuvered over to this site already, but G2, they want to depart because
that's crazy.
Yeah, he's just been over here taking the space, working up towards elbow.
He's cleared it all.
20 seconds on the clock, but hey, that's going to be enough. G2, they're getting through A main for free, and they've left Leaf all the way through mid just to be a nuisance potential backstab later.
Enough money here for Heretics that this does not represent a mandatory save. Even looking ahead, Benji's been able to get that Steel Garden online, but Heretics here say, just how worthwhile would this really be? It looks like they're happy to stay put.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that they think it is at all. G2, after a long drought, finally string 2 rounds together. Heretics, again, had a cool little trap play there set towards main, where they send that pop flash as soon as that Nebula drops, just the pull-away star.
I mean, they've cottoned on quickly to G2 feeding ultimate orbs one after another into Jaw.
Yeah, it was a cool idea to deny them, but the straight-up duels just didn't go their way. Jaw able to capitalize, get that first.
And so G2 cling on now. It's literally fingernails into the cliff face kind of stuff, but we still have a game on our hands. Heretics, though, can buy up. Still have a steel guarded now. Reactively use that if you're playing off the site. Here's how this first engagement goes. Just a little messy. Well-turned flash, and Jaw comes forward that showstopper. Fortunate they had the third line of Trent stepping up there to cover for Jorgamo.
I want to say that showstopper as well is why Rian's got on such a low HP.
Chunk down.
It's hard to tell for sure, but it seemed like that did a fair bit of damage to him. Probably also contributes to that late decision just to save. Team Heretics do have a lot of money left over, actually, to buy for the final round. Even if they lose here, just on account of Boo and Woot both having 5.5k. And they're getting close to a divide as well, a cosmic divide for Boo.
This is such a classic Boo scoreline, by the way. Always very few kills, but he only dies in rounds that like, Heretics lose. Like, that's the only time that he sort of goes down. So not the kind of player to play for kills. It's funny, we talk about Heretics as super aggressive, super gunplay focused, really in your face as individuals. Boo's that stabilizing factor. Playing safe, playing for info, good mid-round calling, very stable individual. And I mean, Benji and Rians have done more than enough here, right? Miniboo with like 5 consecutive rounds of clean first picks, got an early outlaw in hand. Played up on the extremities for contact, was very successful.
You read my mind, though. I was actually about to ask if Miniboo was going to buy the op, and he does, getting back into this out of the timeout. They did have the cash, and that's not something that they've leaned into, a scoped weapon since the early rounds of this half, and he was getting a lot of first bloods with that outlaw, so I'm not surprised to see them try and pick that up late, have that be the factor in victory.
His positioning with it is interesting. He's just going to play that B main spot. Maybe just some jump spots from Leaf. Yeah, Cam used. There's an op for G2 in the hands of Jonah. This is headed over to A.
My camera is
In case there's any exploration from Benji past that line of scrimmage in yard.
Pretty deep. Haunt gets thrown over towards B main and now A main, so exchanged on opposite extremities as G2 attempt to move forward, have to go through the poison cloud. Rians gets out of the way of that slow orb that was just bouncing all over the place. That's a little silly, but
that's full yard control though, Gain. You've got to respect the Odin, of course.
There's a bit of damage onto Jonah with the spam.
G2 haven't scaled with any of the space. I think the Odin's definitely given them pause for thought. They haven't really looked to take mid either. It's pretty tentative play for Valen.
And Miniboo, he's on the rotate in spawn. You can see him ready to just kind of throw the gate crash over towards that B side. Wu just picked up the op now. He's the one stood in B main. While G2, now with the knowledge it's there, want to continue to test this op. And yeah, there's that gate crash, goes all the way back B. So Team Heretics have 3 stacked up A, but at a moment's notice, Miniboo can come support on that B side if the execute goes through there.
G2's still got to get moving. This is map point. Now, less than 30 seconds in the round. God, if they got to walk into all these Vice utility, it's going to be a disaster.
20 seconds, they have to get through 2 Thorns right now. They're getting sold out. There's an Odin here as well, and the Steel Garden. There's no way, man. There's 15 seconds. How can they do this?
No other choice here. Paranoia comes in. G2 have to fight with secondary. The Shorty Brigade goes for it. Benji's down, traded out, but Miniboo's going to step up in the shield wall again. Breaks up G2. They walked into the trap once more. And Miniboo's happy to execute them on the spot for their audacity. In these slow rounds, G2 get caught out by the Senti Util. Stalled out too late, and again they run headlong into it, failing to learn the lesson of so much of this second half.
And on top of that, there are 3 players from Team Heretics who dropped 20 bombs in that game. Benji, Rians, and Miniboo all putting up crazy numbers on that defensive side, especially 9 first bloods for Miniboo.
Insane stuff. I mean, you saw him popping up, especially in that second half. We're going to take a moment, step away, but of course our big brains, the experts, are stepping in to break down a...
Yeah! Sit down! Stand up, stand up, stand up! So sit down, sit up, down. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Enes, stand up! Enes, get up, get up, get up! Guys, hello, baby bay, where are you, bro? Come on. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Now that I'm a mom, things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with Valorant. If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty, and Alpha goes crazy! They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way! Finally, we won. Finally!
Dans le silence, je perds mon souffle. guys? Mika here, and I'm with Nilzinho of Team Heretics. Now, congratulations, by the way, on that defensive half that was nearly perfect. I wanted to know about the map veto because we had Corrode and Lotus, and these are maps that Team Heretics doesn't really play that often, especially the Lotus on the VCT stage. So, was this all according to plan?
Yeah, pretty much. We had a good map pool coming in through the group stage. We didn't play great in playoffs. We simply just didn't have time to play Corrode. So we really worked hard on it, and yeah, we're confident in every other map in the map pool, especially now the Icebox is gone. So yeah, that was what it was for. We saved it for our champions, and I'm glad we showed it. And the same with Lotus. Like, we've got a lot of prepping on Lotus too, so it's a really good vehicle for us.
Well, excited to see what you guys have prepared on Lotus. So good luck, and make sure you flash that jersey loud and proud.
I can't believe Nilzinho has a picture of Tom Biz on his jersey.
It's crazy. I'm everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, you must be really proud of that, Tom.
Of course.
Welcome back, Doug as well. Any plans to go to Tom's barber?
I hope not. I'm hoping I'm
I'll be honest
still
with you,
okay.
Doug. It's not a choice.
Yeah,
You're just gonna wake up one morning.
I'm hanging on for dear life. I'm counting the days. I gotta get out of esports before it happens.
Well, do you know what was a choice? Re-ends without Odin. If we take a look at the HyperX reflex moment of the day, there was a lot of Odin moments, but Doug, honestly, this was just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, this takes the cake. I mean, I love the way they played it from the beginning. You saw Jogmo dies early, and they were hellbent on refusing to let G2 even get into a position to res, and then they think they're finally safe, they can bring their star back into the game, and then re-ends happens.
I'll be honest, you picked the wrong half of this duo to come up here and talk about this, because Mitch is the Odin enjoyer, I am the Odin hater, and I do not like that worked that well.
I love the Odin. I'm a big fan of that Odin. But we saw a lot of Odins, obviously, on this map. It just feels like the thing that everybody wants to see. But also, we wanted Benji to step it up, and Tom, that's exactly what we got.
Oh, he had an incredible map. That's the thing. When this team is in form, a lot of it feels like his Sentinel play is such a pivotal part. You can have aggression elsewhere, you can have these riskier plays, but you need this man to be a safe pair of hands. And what he was doing was just such wonderful repositioning, making all of these fights so favorable to him. But then when you put him in a position to hit the shot, he was landing it.
The pathing that he took there on that play, I mean, you were right. And those are the kind of plays that you'd expect out of someone like Benji Fishy, right? Like when you know you're playing against the likes of G2, kind of forget about some of their woes in the past, and he stepped up in a huge, I mean, just look at the numbers. It was nuts.
You know you did a good job when Weber drops the Benjamin David Fish. But let's hear what Josh RT had to say ahead of map 2.
Mika here once again with Josh RT of G2. Now, Josh, we noticed a few changes in the composition over there in the previous map. We did see the Raze and the Cypher. Why the change? No more Yoru?
No more Yoru. I figured, you know, with Alex or Jogamo, his Raze ability, like, why not throw it in there? We saw some inspiration from C9, actually. We're like, hey, actually, the Raze is kind of nice. Fortunately, we didn't show the best phase with our attack side. And I would just kind of attribute to, like, you know, first game nerves, you know, a little bit of like, oh, let's make sure we're speeding up a little bit in these moments. Not often did I see like a 20-second execute, so that's not what we're fully known for nowadays. But yeah, like, we like the comp, but you know, they had a better show.
Are we expecting more changes? Are we seeing Trent not on the Teo in the next map?
I mean, you guys will see soon, but yeah, I think Trent will be on Teo.
Oh man, I love that teaser. Thank you so much for that, and good luck to you guys.
Of course, Trent is going to be on Teho on Lotus, and this is where we should not see any uncomfortability from G2, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little concerned with how some of Josh responded to the questions about how their attack side, they aren't necessarily known for burning down the clock, but that when they do historically play a bit slowly, we are going to get Trent insta-locking the Teho.
Yeah, but we get Boot Chamber!
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they're going heavy into this one. I like the fact that we're seeing that. I think the double initiator now ducking out. That was something that they ran before. Benji locking in the deadlock as well would be a cool little addition. One side of the map locked out, the other side going to be incredibly aggressive. And a player we've known for his sort of first bullet accuracy and flair, picking up that chamber. well, they're definitely bringing fire into the map. Whether it works or not is something completely different.
Yeah, to be seen. Honestly, I love Deadlock. Yes, technically a Sentinel, but I think Deadlock feels so much stronger on the attacking side. And so I honestly, I love this comp for Heretics. I love that they're starting on attack. I love that they're going to be pushing G2 on their back foot, or in theory they should, to open up the map. They've got a really nice setup here to be able to close this series out. I think Jogamo has to have a better performance. Has to. And then Leaf, we talked about him at the beginning, prior to the series starting, was fine, but not the Leaf we expected.
Yeah, I think it's two very different looks to how you can play the map. I think like a lot of it will be looking for those first jewels for the side of Heretics on that attack side, and then that aggression that you can run in with on the Teo. I think it's going to be an absolute brawl.
Yeah, we haven't seen Heretics play Lotus all of stage 2. They didn't go there at all, and this is what they've been working on. I am so excited. How are you guys feeling about this? Excitement?
They've cooked. I just don't know if it's going to taste good. Like it's one of those ones that feels risky. Like you're very reliant on both Miniboo and Wu having good performances. If they do, if it's like the last map, they could absolutely destroy G2.
I've very rarely seen a Turkish player falter on Chamber. I am so excited to go into Lotus and send this back to your casters, Uber and Wyatt.